Alright, so I know everybody's talking about that new Netflix movie called The Deliverance. Well, I'll let you know right now, I just watched it and I'm here to give you my review. So if you haven't watched the movie, go ahead and exit out this video because I will be giving a lot of spoiler alerts. The movie was really crazy though, and I really recommend that you watch it though. The Deliverance is basically about this family that moves inside of this house. I guess they were trying to like find a better life in a different neighborhood or something like that. But they're also going through like personal challenges and personal issues while having to face demons that lay inside of the house. And so one of the couple of issues that I can talk about is how the mother was dealing with alcoholism, or how the son, he was dealing with, bullying, and the daughter was dealing with, becoming a teenage woman. And you know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot that each character was dealing with. And you know what I'm saying? It kind of goes full circle into how they dealt with the main demon, Lucifer, in the ending of the movie. I would say the directors and the writers did a very good job with building tension and building like that suspense inside of the movie, because like each scene, it wasn't like a dull moment at all in any of the scenes. Like some movies they'll have like fillers, and some movies they'll have like, unnecessary stuff like sex scenes, or like stuff like that, like that we don't need for real. Like it'll just seem like they're putting certain scenes into the movie just to make the movie longer, but I didn't really get much of that in this movie though. There were definitely some good jump scares in there, and they weren't like cheap or anything like that, but I don't know, they didn't really get me like that. But they might get you. There's a lot of people that said they were watching the movie and halfway through they just stopped watching the movie, which I get, because like the movie does get like kind of graphic, and it does get like a little weird, but at the same time it wasn't really too bad. One thing about it though, I feel like the psychological horror and the physical horror that was, displayed in the movie was definitely balanced, Cause like they'll have scenes where characters are shape shifting. Cause like they will have scene cause like they had some scenes where like Cause like they had some scenes where the characters were shape shifting, and that was kind of creepy. Or like they'll have some scenes where like the boy's eyes got blacked out and stuff like that, or like he'll be levitating, or like that scene where like, he crawled up the wall and he was staring like what was that creature from Insidious? If you ever watched the first Insidious, you remember when that woman was standing inside that room and she was staring, looking at the top corner of the ceiling, and there was a demon sitting there. That kind of reminded me of that. To be completely honest, the whole movie just reminded me of The Conjuring, or like any other movie that involves demons and exorcisms. That's basically what that movie was about. Like I was literally telling my friend while I was watching the movie, like this is literally the black version of The Conjuring. Like this is what black people would do if they were in the situation. One thing about the characters though is that the directors and the writers gave each character something that we can relate to. So for example, even though it seemed like the mom was such a crazy woman and she didn't need to have them kids, she obviously cared about them kids a lot. And she obviously, was able, or was willing to do whatever, in her power to help them kids out. And we can see that in scenes when she would go up and she like kick that little boy in the nuts and like beat him up, or I don't think she beat him up, but she definitely put him in his place. Or like how even when the evidence was directly in the social services face, she still would have them kids bold face lie, like nah, like ain't nothing going on. You know what I'm saying? You fell at the playground. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's obvious she doesn't want them kids to be taken away from her. And plus, if we're being 100% honest, half of the stuff that happened to them kids really wasn't her fault. But but it's really just messed up how like things can go not in your favor and you'll have no control over it. So it's like how when the mother and the teenage boy was fighting, and then the little boy came running in to stop them from fighting, he tripped over the cord and the TV fell on him. I mean, like, well, you should have stayed in your room. Like, that's what I would have said. Like, why are you even out here? But that's another thing. The actors that played the characters did such a good job, bro. Like I always say, like y'all can have the best cameras, y'all can have the best writers, y'all can have the best everything. But if them actors ain't good, bro, no one's gonna like the movie. So yeah, they definitely did that thing. Shouts out to Monique. That's really the only person that I know in the movie. I forgot everybody else's name, but shouts out to Monique. She really did her thing. You know what I'm saying? She had a lot of funny scenes in there, and also I really like when she sat there and she told the mom, she was like, "Oh yeah, I lost a kid too." You know what I'm saying? I turned away for 2 seconds. I came back and he got hit by a car. You know what I'm saying? So I see you taking your kids for granted. You know what I'm saying? It's taking me off. I don't like how you treat your kids. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I'm always on you, and that's why the movie is so good, not because of the fact that it had some good horror scenes in it, but because it really made you connect with the characters. And I love how they utilize sound cues and stuff like that, like how they utilize the banging and stuff like that. And what's crazy is how even though it was happening in real life, like the banging and the noises and the scratching and all that extra stuff, they still utilized that against her when she was sitting inside that interrogation room with the nurse or whoever she was, when she was sitting inside that room, they was trying to use, oh, do you hear banging at night? Do you hear banging and clicking in your ears? Like, I mean, yeah, because it's happening. I'm not hearing things. I'm not crazy. But shoot, in a world full of crazy people, of course you're gonna seem crazy, bro. One thing I will say about the Deliverance though is that they definitely did try their hardest to set this movie apart from other exorcism movies. Like, they had a lot more crazy stuff in that movie that I just don't see in other movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I'll never be able to get out of my head that scene when that teenage boy, he was like crawling on the ground. He was biting on his arm and spit it out, and he was looking crazy. I'm sitting here, I'm like, what's wrong with him? Or like that scene when the daughter levitated from the freaking bed and she was sitting there like she was being crucified. That was crazy too. Like that, those scenes in that movie, bro, that was shit. It hit different, bro. There's some scenes in that movie, bro. It just like, I don't know. And although it kind of messed me up in my head, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I literally watched that movie right before going to bed, so I couldn't even sleep for real, for real. So even though that movie messed me up in my head, bro, I guess it was good to set the movie apart from other movies, because if they didn't have those scenes and it was just a basic exorcism, it would be just like every other movie. And of course, and of course, another thing that sets the movie apart from other movies is the fact that it had black culture integrated into the movie, and it had the ideas of the everyday black family integrated into the movie. And so one of my favorite parts of the movie was when the grandma, the white woman, and the mom, they were, I guess, putting the kids in the car or something like that, coming back from somewhere, and they was arguing, and she was like, the black mom says to the white woman, she was like, "Oh yeah, you want to date all these black men, but as soon as it's time to get down with us, all you don't want to be there for us." And I was like, this is literally how all black women see white women. Like, y'all want to be down with us until it's really time to be down with us. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here, I'm like, and it's messed up though, because literally that's her mom, and this is like their conversation, and literally any conversation that they would have, bro. Like, in the beginning of the movie when they were sitting down at the family table having a dinner, listening to her like, shut the f up and all this extra stuff. I'm sitting here, I'm like, what type of family is this? I'm like, this is toxic behavior being displayed in front of these children. That's what I'm saying. But all of that leads back into the ending of the movie. And so, in the ending of the movie, in order to get rid of the demon, what they do is, or what the mother does is, she gives her life to Jesus Christ. She falls on her knees, try to get to speaking in tongues. She was sitting there, had her hands praise to the Lord, just praising, praising. And as she began to do that, that's when the demon went away. It's not when she tried to go and get the kids psychological help. It's not when, they were sitting there arguing, trying to numb, sitting there sipping alcohol and trying to, ignore it. It's not when they was doing that. It's when they gave their life to God. You know what I'm saying? And this can be translated into real life. You know what I'm saying? So you wonder why you're depressed, bro? You wonder why you're always sad? You wonder why you're not confident in yourself, bro? Because you have bad habits. And these bad habits are leading you to believe that, you're making yourself your bad habits. Right? So what do I mean by that? She believed in the movie that her mother didn't love her. She believed in the movie that nobody loved her. Nobody cared about her. It was just her by herself. And she's had all this stress and all this extra stuff. And she was turning to alcohol to cope with it, right? But once you get all those negative thoughts up and all that stuff up, that's when the demons left her alone. And that's when she could finally be happy and smile and have a good life. So that's what you gotta do in real life. You gotta let go of all these negative thoughts. You gotta sit there and be like, yo, my mom does love me. I do have a family that loves me, you know what I'm saying? I am protected. I am looked over. I am watched over. People do care about me, you know what I'm saying? And once you sit with those thoughts, not the negative thoughts, once you sit with all positive thoughts, that's when them demons gonna stop coming for you. What are those demons? Whatever is tearing you down every day, whatever is bringing you down, whatever got you crying, whatever got you sitting there like, oh, life sucks. Once you get rid of that negative mindset, bro, you'll live a more free and a more happy life. You know what I'm saying? People like to think that all their problems are external. It always starts with you, bro. It always starts with inside of you. Once you change in here, bro, everything else out here will change. And that can go with anything. Like, say if you're in a bad relationship. A lot of people are in bad relationships right now because they don't care about themselves. So once you start caring about yourself, that relationship gonna fade away. For real. But that's what I got from the movie. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments about what y'all think about. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments about the movie, man. I think that it was really good. And until next time, guys, peace out. Hey, you don't gotta assume nothing. If you wanna know, just ask. I'm not really into rushing. I'ma take the longer path. It's really the end of the discussion when I say what I had to say. No, I can't see the future, but I'm certain it's gonna